No! No! Bad squirrel! Those are my nuts! My nuts! You're just a hungry little fella, aren't you? But those are my nuts!
Where'd you move here from,
It seems today that all you see is violence and movies and
Sex.
Ice Age is a movie that happened. It's a film that's just as synonymous with Blue Sky as it is with tax fraud. To me, this movie occupies the same space Open Season does. Where it came out, I saw it, and don't remember any of it. So why not revisit it? Furthermore, people seem to really like this movie, and really not like all the sequels. Which makes me wonder if the original is even any good. Well, let's revisit Ice Age and find out. This is Ice Age Modern Warfare 2. Well, shit. So turns out I can't revisit Ice Age, at least not normally. Not because it's bad or anything, actually quite the opposite. Ice Age is a movie that is 100% fine. It's not a movie that's overwhelmingly outstanding or interesting, but at the same time, it's not terrible, nowhere near that in fact. In fact, it's pretty fun and harmless. The issue is though, how do you review a movie like this? There's nothing substantive about it, but nothing horrible either. How do you talk about a movie that's just fine? Well, like any other sensible person would, there's only one more route to take.
The white man has been here. How can you tell? Video essay.
Well, I guess we'll start from the beginning. These are the top 11 things Ice Age has. Number 11, it has animation. Being a movie that's animated, Ice Age certainly has the animation. And for the most part, the animation is alright. It's aged a little bit, to be fair. Some of the movement is both janky and a little floaty. The environments and textures can be a bit muddy. The fur on Manny looks really odd. The humans look fucking weird, although this could also be an art style thing. But otherwise, the animation isn't too bad. And remember, this movie is from 2002, and it's Blue Sky's first animated movie. This was 1 year after Shrek, Monsters Inc., and Jimmy Neutron. So in that regard, it is very impressive. The snow and snow effects look very nice. I like how characters leave snow tracks behind. The characters are expressive. The slapstick has weight to it. The film overall, indeed, does have animation. Perfectly fine animation, and maybe even a bit impressive for its time. So if you enjoy animation, this film certainly has it. And you will not be disappointed that this movie has animation in it. Number 10, it's set during the Ice Age. As the title of the movie implies, the film certainly takes place during the Ice Age. Just like a fucking Far Cry Primal. Which, to be fair, this is a very interesting setting. And for the most part, they make do with it. They have fucking goofy-ass dodo birds, saber-toothed tigers, the main character's a woolly mammoth, they have early human beings in it. Overall, it's a really interesting setting. Is the film historically accurate? Is it scientifically accurate? I don't fucking know. I don't care. It's just a cool setting, man. The setting might just be the only unique thing about Ice Age. My big complaint, though, I wish they did more with it. The overall movie feels like it's Shrek, but in the Ice Age this time. I kinda wish there was a bit more Ice Age-y stuff in it, but aside from that, the setting is cool, and I like it. Cool like the fucking Ice Age. Number 9, it has set pieces. Like Uncharted, the video game, there are set pieces in the Ice Age movie, and they are all pretty good and action-packed, and I liked them. There is one with a little slide in it, and that one was pretty fun. There's one with lava, that one was fine. The dodo bird scene has a little football thing in it. It's goofy and funny, but also action-packed and exciting. It was fun. They were fun little set pieces. I don't know what else to say. They were fucking fine. If you like action scenes, you will enjoy them. If you like comedy, you will also enjoy them. They are good, enjoyable scenes. Your kids will be entertained for an hour and a half. Number 8, it has an ugly as fuck baby. A while back, there was a really unfunny meme where people really wanted to kill the Ice Age baby. Why do they want to kill him? I don't fucking know. And the story is pretty innocuous. He's just a fucking baby. However, I will say this. This baby is fucking hideous. What's with his mouth? His little gremlin teeth? What are his eyes? Why are they so far apart? Why is his hair like that? To be fair, the other humans look pretty janky too. The baby is just the fucking worst of it. He's not even a bad character either. He's just a fucking baby. He doesn't do anything. At worst, he's mildly annoying because that's how babies are. Maybe that's part of the fucking joke. Oh, we have this really ugly, mildly innocuous character. Let's overstate how much we hate him. And then we'll tell that same joke over and over and over again.
One time is funny, 2 times it's fucking annoying, no?
I will agree though, the baby is fucking hideous. I found this one Twitter artist who actually drew him better. Look at him, he's so cute. If I could go back in time, I would redesign the Ice Age baby like this. But in our current timeline, the baby is fucking butt-ass ugly. And yeah, that's about it.
Number 7. It has a story.
The story is very basic. Like I said earlier, the story is basically, what if we took Shrek and put it in the Ice Age? You got the main character who's cynical and jaded and hates the world. You have the funny side character who gets attached to him. You have the one guy that needs to be transported. It's Shrek, but they changed the homework a bit, which is fine. It works. It's simple. It's heartwarming. It's not convoluted, and it's very straightforward, which is once again absolutely fine. It's just a simple, fun movie, if not a little unambitious. Open Season would go on to do the same exact story as well, and even Alpha and Omega is kind of a variation on this, in the same way that shitting in your own mouth is a variation on eating cuisine. But Ice Age is this concept done absolutely fine, not amazingly, not terribly, just the way it needed to be, which doesn't really make for anything interesting in this movie, but it does make the movie pretty comfortable to watch. This movie is absolutely tolerable. I am a film critic.
Number 6. It has jokes.
If you like jokes, you will enjoy Ice Age, because there are plenty of jokes in the movie. There's an entire character based around jokes. There is a football joke where Sid hits the gritty for Ukraine. There is a Star Trek joke where there is a giant spaceship in the ice somewhere, and the Ice Age baby does the Star Trek thing. There is a visual boob joke where the sloths have big ol' mommy milkers, and then one of them says Family Guy.
Family Guy.
Holy fuck.
Overall, if you like comedy, this film has it, and it executes it moderately well. It won't make you burst out laughing, but it will make you smile slightly. You may even make a noise during one of the jokes. There is a lot of slapstick in the movie, which seems to be the film's main focus when it comes to comedy. Once again, it's handled fine, the weight is good, the timing is done well, it's done fine, which is gonna be the whole video from now on. But speaking of slapstick, that brings us to
Number 5. It has Scratch.
one of the biggest parts of Ice Age's marketing was Scratch, the little squirrel guy who just wants his nuts. And man, if you enjoy slapstick, you will enjoy this character, because this character is entirely slapstick, with no other real personality, which I guess is fine. He's not super intrusive or anything, and I do kind of like how he's kind of separate to the characters, but also intersecting with them. He's on kind of this separate plane of narrative existence, so it's cute seeing him run into the main characters. He's only in the film for a little bit, enough to make an impact, but he's not an overall distraction from the other characters. Overall, yeah, he's certainly in the movie.
Number 4. It has characters.
There are certainly characters in Ice Age. You have Manny, the cynical woolly mammoth. He's a fine character, he gets the job done. You have Sid, the silly sloth. He's the goofy and funny comedic relief. He gets a little annoying at times, but it's probably intentional. But he does bounce off Manny really well. And by really well, I mean adequately. They bounce off the way they should bounce off. There is one character though, Diego, who I found really interesting. He's a saber-toothed tiger tasked with kidnapping the Ice Age baby. So when he finds out that Sid and Manny have the baby, he actually befriends them to manipulate them, creating this kind of emotional cat and mouse, which I really enjoy. On top of how his character develops throughout the movie. It's not like the greatest character of all time or anything, but he is the deepest character in the movie, and probably my personal favorite. All the characters are memorable, have good chemistry. They won't win any awards or anything, but they get the damn job done well. But I think what really helps these characters is the cast.
Number 3. It has a cast.
Okay, yeah, the casting is pretty good. I can't say I'm the biggest Ray Romano fan. I mainly only know him from that show my mom liked. But in this movie, he fits the character. Very dry and cynical in a very matter-of-fact way. He does a good job here. Although I will say, it does feel like the people making this movie once again looked at Shrek, went, okay, Mike Myers is here, what comedian can we get in our movie? And some guy raised his hand and went, oh, I know, Ray Romano!
Okay, dude, you're only 65, but I can't wait for you to fucking die.
Of course, Sid is played by John Leguizamo. You know, Luigi, in the Mario movie that actually matters. Once again, a role-fitting performance. He does a good job here. I do think John Leguizamo is a very underrated actor, and he certainly gives a performance in this movie. I think I'm running out of things to say here.
Number 2. It has character development.
Manny and Diego both go through basic character development in the movie. It's revealed later in the movie that the reason Manny is so grumpy throughout the movie is because he lost his family. So he's kind of dealing with this internalized loss throughout the whole thing. But he ends up realizing that real family is the friends we made along the way. Then he kills everyone in the hospital. And it's done absolutely fine. I think me explaining it makes it sound more interesting than it actually is, but what the movie actually is pretty heartwarming, if once again, very unambitious. Diego also warming up to the good guys is also pretty cool. The emotional cat and mouse game ends up with him losing, and sort of redeeming himself in the end. It's a nice little slight twist. Gives him a little bit more depth. However, he's given this death fake out scene where you think he's dead, but uh-oh, he's actually alive. Thank God. And I'm sorry, but this scene is just not good. They really pussied out here. Like, he could have died with plenty of honor in the end. But nah, fuck finality. We need, happy children. That's not to say you have to kill off characters to make a good story. But when it comes to a character like Diego, you either kill them off or you don't. You don't fake that shit. You don't lie to me. But otherwise, the development is pretty decent. Characters learn to accept their losses and continue forward. And thank God this film has this message, because honestly, the film has,
Number 1, it has nothing else of value.
Yeah, the biggest problem with this movie is the fact that it is just fine. It's inoffensive and harmless, and everything the movie does, it does do pretty well. But it's also the main issue with the movie. It plays its cards way too safe, which begs the question, what makes Ice Age special? What is the appeal of your movie outside of children? Because when watching Ice Age, I really don't see it. It's another movie in the same vein as Shrek and Open Season, with very little risk-taking, which makes it fun and enjoyable, yeah, but not a whole lot else. Sometimes to make a great movie, you need to risk something. But sadly, Ice Age doesn't do that. The characters are fine, but they're not outstanding. The story is fine, but nothing mind-blowing. The animation, while it has aged, is fine, but it's nothing groundbreaking. The comedy isn't god-awful, but it's not laugh-out-loud either. Ice Age is a movie that's perfectly fine, and that's its biggest problem. Would I recommend it? Sure, if you want. You wouldn't be wasting your time, but it could be spent elsewhere. In conclusion, Ice Age is a movie. Oh, and the fucking Carlos song is in it.
Fuck you in the lanes you came with. Me and you ain't on the same shit. You ain't in my lane, bitch, nah. All that shit it fit, rollie on my wrist. Ay, baby, you a star, I'm my only wish. I'm counting blue hundreds, I'm too money. Ay, and my little bitch, she too lovely. Yeah, hanging up and calling me right back. Ay, baby, why you calling me like that? Yeah, getting high with the seat laid back. Baby, gon' relax, yeah. Hey, they don't know the half, yeah. No matter what happened, I got your back. Baby, that's the facts, yeah. That's the facts, yeah. Yeah, we can fight, but the feeling's gone. I try to find the words, but they never come. I can still see you on the lawn. Hey, laying outside in the summer sun. Yeah, we can fight, but the feeling's gone. I try to find the words, but they never come. I can still see you on the lawn, hey, laying outside in the summer sun. Hey, I'm with a dark-skinned girl on a Sunday, that's that Black Sabbath. She put them ones all down on a Hyundai, and she had to have it. And she come through ready for the runway, shawty, you the baddest. Ay, baby, that's the facts, yeah, that's the facts, yeah.
If you leave a hateful comment again and again, you will be blocked, deleted, also backtraced.